yellow legs out there. I think they're lesser. Some boat-tailed grackles. Well, conservation is just it's just taking care of the land to the benefit of the waterfowl. And with me, it's become more than just the waterfowl. It's the shorebirds, the wading birds, the gulls, terns. Gulls and terns come in this field all year. They come through here just like everything else does. The songbirds use the edges of this field and all those canal banks. So all this habitat that farmers and landowners and cattle owners have worked so hard to keep it bare in a monosphere of habitat that's only good for the cattle. And I can't say that's a wrong thing to do, but it's not the best thing for the habitat, for nature. It's just taken a lot of habitat away from what used to be here. We used to come out here and hunt rabbit at night, and we would shoot 100 rabbits in a night. We quail hunted all of these levee banks back when there was the briars and Cherokee rose and all the stuff that they fought so hard to get rid of. It was habitat for animals, and there's no quail out here anymore. Of course, the red wolves, they started disappearing. There's still a kind of a little captive herd in North Carolina, but they're gone from here. Pasture pigeons, other species are diminishing, and as we sterilize the land and make sure that the exact thing that we want to use it for is exactly right for that one species or for that one rice crop or mainly for that pocketbook, then we're going to have fewer and fewer species. This is just part of the habitat that you have to preserve. That's why there's so much wildlife refuge right now, and mark my words, most of this area around here that's low like this, I'd say anything up to about 8 feet within 20 years will be wildlife refuge. It will be worthless for that species of rice or those cattle, or it's going to be great habitat, and nobody's going to want it. I think that we will down the road probably continue to have people take property over and eliminate the hunting on it, keep it private, underhunt it, underutilize it, and eliminate or exclude other people from being able to use it. And when the wildlife refuge buys a piece of property, that's 60% of that property as a minimum that will never be hunted again. So where are the birds going to go?
Sanctuary.
So they're excluding the hunters from the birds, and that's just the nature of the beast. I would much rather that the wildlife refuge ended up owning all of this fantastic property than to have it subdivided into 1,000 different families that all have. It'll be a patchwork quilt. There's going to be solar panels over here. You're going to have wind farms over here. Seed rice over there. It will become non-habitat. They will eliminate the habitat with all that, and that's progress, I guess. That's a kind of a downward way of looking at things, but there is the wildlife refuge, and if you take the duck hunting out of it, I'll just turn it into a duck watcher. That's almost as much fun anyway. Little blue heron. Saw some bigger birds out here a while ago. March now, and we still got the water here. We've got water in almost all of our fields. If any of the fields are going to be farmed, the day the season's over, we pull the water out of them. But these are not going to be farmed next year. This field, next weekend, we're going to have a gun dog trial right here, and they'll use this blind and they'll use that shoreline right over there to send the dogs on. I think there's going to be 150 dogs. So this is just one of the test sites. We've got another test site back up to the northeast of us up here that they'll use, and then they'll use a dry field, and they'll pick that out when they get here. But that's one of the reasons we leave the water in. The other reason is you see all these birds here. That most of the people, most of the hunters, the landowners, the day that hunting season's over, they quit making money. They jerk that water out of there, and all these birds have to have water to complete their migration. They're all en route to the breeding grounds, and all these species that you see out here, the shore birds and the wading birds, the waterfowl, everything except the mottle ducks have got to get back to the nesting sites and reproduce, and this is really important. So we'll pull the water out of this one probably into April. When I'm not seeing the birds here anymore, we can pull the water out. That's when we start our maintenance, and we've got 2 or 3 different things that we do to maintain. We'll let it dry out real good. We'll mow it and burn it. We'll mow it and mow it. Sometimes if we've got a lot of invasives that we don't like this field right here, we've got too much marsh primrose in it right now, and I want it gone, so we're going to dry it out real good. We're going to disc this one early in the year, and then we'll see what comes up after that. If we get our millets back, then we're going to leave it alone. We may mow it one more time, and then when it comes time to roll it, we'll roll it. And that's going to be real expensive this year, burning that diesel. But we may make some adjustments to account for that, but we'll just have to play it by ear. That's the main reason. It gives all these waterfowl that are coming back through here a place to remember for the next spring, for the next fall too. These birds live here, so it's their home. We're going to take a few of them as they come through, but we like to have good habitat for them all year that they're here. We're going to go over here to this next field. It's called habitat. It's we call it that because it seems to always have the best plants in it without us having to do very much to it. It's between 2 forks of a bayou. We think it sediments from that bayou overflowing so many times has put the best stuff right there in that field. A lot of this vegetation here is Sagittarius or duck potato. They like to root on that. Oh, look right here in front of us in this next water. This is a good little bunch of birds right here. A lot of shovelers in there. All these close little bitty birds. That's all green-winged teal. There's a few blue wings in there too. They always like this field a lot. The good thing about having a bunch of birds like this next to you all year long, you may not shoot too many of those birds because they know where you are, but they'll attract a lot of new birds to the area. And those birds don't know where you are, so it's kind of like having live decoys. They're just not with you.